There's basically people who are going to bow down to Donald Trump and those who are not. And let's just celebrate some who I am sure will not bow down to Donald Trump.
Resistance media.
Resistance media.
We need them now more than ever.
Let's just start with these guys because these guys have real skin in the game, as it were. Here is Joe Scarborough back in January of this year, just 10 months ago, talking how disgusted he was with Ted Cruz for supporting Donald Trump.
I'm just curious, how does that happen? How does somebody have their family insulted, their spouse insulted, their father? My God, we forgot. Trump accused Ted Cruz's father of killing JFK.
Yeah. Right.
And so he attacked his father. He attacked his wife. I'm just telling you, I'm just speaking for myself. Most men I know, if somebody attacked their father and attacked their wife, game over.
Yeah.
Game over.
Just don't come back.
They would spend the rest of their time going after that guy to take him down politically. Game over. But in this case, he's proud and enthusiastically supporting a man who said his father helped kill JFK.
All right. I mean, we get the point. Game over.
That's what it means to be a mighty man.
That's what a man does. You come after my family, you come after my wife, buddy, it's game over. Look at this. Remember when Donald Trump said this about
his wife?
Mika, and I heard poorly rated Morning Joe speaks badly of me. Don't watch anymore. Then how come low IQ crazy Mika along with Psycho Joe came? Wait, where's the other one there? Yeah, to Mar-a-Lago for 3 nights in a row around New Year's Eve and insisted on joining me. She was bleeding badly from a facelift. I said no. Oh,
wow.
Man, you know what? Game over, buddy. You don't come for a guy's wife, right? Right, Joe? Here, listen what Joe was talking about Donald Trump. This was just, when was this? A couple of, this.
Last year.
Yeah,
Last year. Last fall.
2 days. He threatens to, says the chairman of the Joint Chiefs probably should be executed. And then he says that the news network that is most critical of him should be taken off the air. This is not a reach. I could go back and talk about Nazi Germany, and I do it without any concerns whatsoever. And if people can't start drawing the parallels, well, you're just stupid, or you have your head in the sand, or you're one of them. But I'd rather.
Yeah. No, I mean, this guy, I love it.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe, for your service. I mean, and when you hear words like that, you realize that deep down, Joe is, realizes that they shouldn't have been so chummy with Donald Trump in the run up to 2016. That they knew they had done wrong. They were sucking up to power. They were sucking up to Trump. And these are people who clearly learned their lesson and are deeply principled. In fact, here, listen to what they said today.
Over the past week, Joe and I have heard from so many people, from political leaders to regular citizens, deeply dismayed by several of President-elect Trump's cabinet selections, and they are scared. Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on.
Pause it for a second. Hold on for a second. Did they disagree as to whether he was a Nazi? Or did they disagree over
Mika's bleeding face?
Mika's bleeding face? Did they disagree over that Joe Scarborough was a man who was going to say, game over to you, buddy? Game over.
It's interesting they didn't record this conversation. As, members of the media.
For journalists?
Yeah.
Oh, but look, they're being full disclosure. They're reporting that they went and hung out with him.
And expressed some concerns.
And there were some things they did not agree to eye to eye. Whoa.
That's what it means to be a mighty man of valor.
Is there anything else we should hear about this? Did they make Donald Trump cry?
Past year or over the past decade that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he and the United States profoundly disagree. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike. We had not spoken to President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call.
I just want to thank these two so much
for their service,
for resuming communication with Donald Trump. That was so helpful the first time when they were in constant communication with Donald Trump. I know we're just civilians, but can we get them a medal? Is there any way for us to give them a medal?
I mean, they wake up every morning at the crack of dawn for their morning show to make it in time to defend democracy. I mean, that's tough hours, buddy.
And then you throw in the fact that they're going to have to be in communication again with their new president, Donald Trump.
Wow.
I've been anxious since the election, but knowing they've had this Mar-a-Lago summit and, people are willing to have these dialogues that are so important.
It's so important. Now, they're not going to see eye to eye on everything.
Well, you never do in conversation.
No, you don't. And I think there's a great lesson for all of us. Wait, let's just hear what else. I am so moved and overcome with gratitude. Go.
President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call Joe made to Trump on the morning after the attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. In this meeting, President Trump was tearful. He was upbeat. He seemed interested in finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we?
Especially between us.
5 years of political warfare has deeply divided Washington and the country. We have been as clear
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They literally. This is. Is there one show that's more responsible for the position that we're in right now than Morning Joe?
Consistently said could be this show.
This show is Biden's favorite show that said every day you're doing a great job, Joe. Ignore the fact that no president has ever gotten reelected with this approval rating that hasn't ticked up in months and months and months. Ignore that fact. Stay in the race. In fact, they were saying after the debate that it was a rough night, but he should stay in, and that he's this foreign policy wonderkind and nobody could do it. They were the last line of defense for Biden staying in the race, which is exactly why we're in the situation that we're in right now. They're also probably the top show that has been pushing this never Trumper movement within the Democratic Party to the 100%. Forefront of these Democratic strategist ideologies. They privileged that entire never Trump Republican thing, appeal to those folks. That's been their entire narrative. So both in terms of their close communication with Biden, which screwed us, and now apparently they're going to do the same thing with Trump, and just the ideology of the show, it's so toxic, and they're so self-satisfied. They're framing this within their conversation of their feud with Trump. No one gives a crap.
No, and let's just be clear here. I mean, we're going to just watch, and we have seen it, and we're going to see more of it. We're just going to watch capitulation after capitulation after capitulation. Bezos and the Washington Post not endorsing. I don't think the endorsement would have made a damn difference. But the fact that he's preemptively not running it out of fear of Trump. These guys running as hard as they could into Trump's embrace, like 2 weeks after he wins. Not a surprise that they're going to capitulate first. Not a surprise in the first place. I mean, all of it was it's all just garbage show. But this is what you're going to start watching. You're going to watch the Senate do the same thing. They can talk, there can be senators and go like, well, we have advise and consent, but they're going to fall too. This is what's going to happen. Keep a record. Watch what happens. We're going to watch this and act accordingly to those people, because this is not going to be a normal administration. As much as the last Trump administration was not a normal administration, this is not going to be a normal administration at all. And the idea that we need to bring the country together based upon, on what terms? No. If the country comes together, it's going to be under an authoritarian rule that oversees the complete destruction of our administrative state as a baseline.
And these are the folks that are saying it was wokeness that lost the election. I just want to remind you, these are the folks that are saying that. Don't give them an inch on this front.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.